And we're heading into our last best of 5 matchup of the night. It's RDU taking on Alchemixt, and while we aren't able to show you the bans today, we'll have those to you tomorrow. Just want to let you know that RDU actually banned Priest against Alchemist. Alchemist just straight up went with a Hunter ban that we've kind of known and loved. Now, that does mean that Alchemist has a Hunter that he'll be able to play, and so with so many Hunter bans out there, I want to say it's nice that we'll get a chance to see that from Alchemist, but we'll see what he leads off with. RDU banning the Priest. Forsen, I know you've been playing a lot of Priest recently. Do you think Priest is strong enough to be ban worthy?
Yes, I do definitely believe that. I was playing the top 50 today with Priest. Like, it's a really strong class. It beats Hunter very easily. But I'm still surprised seeing that ban though. He's not afraid of Hunter at all. But RDU is one of those players, unlike some top streamers, myself included, who actually prepares a ton when it comes to deck choices and bans for these kinds of tournaments. So he must have some kind of plan behind that Priest ban that synergizes well with his deck choices.
Now, something about deck choices, we've actually seen nothing but 3 zeros today, and that's actually kind of interesting because of the way that most players choose their decks in a row. Usually when you're choosing decks for Hearthstone tournaments, you want to say, hey, if this deck loses, chances are, what are the decks that it's weak to? So the next deck I'm going to have is something that's going to be strong against those, or at least have a winning matchup. But we've seen nothing but 3 zeros, so nobody able to find a counter to the deck that they lose to first off, though. So as we hop into our game, we're going to get everybody into game. And a quick note before we hop into this, Alchemist is playing remotely, so we'll only have RDU's perspective for this game. So this should fix a little bit of the sync issues we apologize for. So go ahead and hop into the game. It'll be RDU's perspective. And we actually start out by seeing, and they're both going to start off with Handlock.
We're not. Are we sure that this is handlock though?
Oh,
because Alchemist.
Well, with the Argent though, this is actually Zoo from RDU.
Yeah, I mean, even Alchemist is known for being a Zoo player here, so I'm not surprised to see a Zoo mirror actually.
All right, don't want to jump the gun too early, and it is at least one Zoolock, and we don't know what's in Alchemist's hand, so this could definitely be a handlock. I haven't seen anybody going for the kind of weird demons style deck that we saw resurge there for a second, so it should just be.
This is a pretty good hand from RDU as well. He got the Soulfire, which is really good against the mirror, and Alchemist is playing the mirror, so it's gonna be a Zoo mirror here. And
Zoo mirror, and he's gonna be able to coin out turn 1. Is that the right play here, or do you wait for the turn 2?
He's thinking here about playing the Squire and then coining out the Shattered Sun Cleric to trade the Divine Shield with the Flame Imp, but he actually decides to. Oh wow!
And he discards Doomguard.
Yeah.
That was not the opening he was looking for.
I think that the better play there would have been just the Squire and coin out the Shattered Sun to trade with the Flame Imp on turn 2, but he took a risk there and it didn't quite pay off. I mean, the Doomguard is so nice to have on turn 5 in this matchup.
And think about that. I mean, the best case scenario where he discards the Shattered Sun Cleric, he's still got a hand that only has a 5-drop in it, which is not what you want as a Zoo at all. Like, you want the low-cost monsters early on so you can just throw them down there. But double Zoo, this is actually really weird considering the popularity of Handlock, and he's going into the options. I thought he was reaching for the concede. I don't think it's quite that bad yet.
No, definitely not. I think he's way ahead in this game because of that Soulfire and double 1-drop start. However, he does not have a turn 2 play unless he top decks something. No. So this is.
No, I mean he will be able to clear with the Mortal Coil.
He top decks the Mortal Coil, so that's actually pretty good.
Oh, and he could play the Argent, but yeah, he definitely wants the board presence, so he's gonna throw that down even though he can't use the bonus damage.
It's still better than keeping it at your hand, because next turn you won't be playing it. You will be playing the Shattered Sun and no mana for abusive.
Now, the Haunted Creeper coming out here is really good because you can't really trade too efficiently against it. If you pop it this turn, then, you just lose all your board next turn. So, Shattered Sun plays very well here, and I think you just go to face.
Yeah, I was thinking about trading with Abusive and the 1-1, but there's not really many cards that can screw him over. right now by leaving that 1-2 on the board. I mean, his Dark Iron Dwarf is a possible play here, but it's not gonna do anything that the 1/1 spiders couldn't do.
And now the next turn, Dark Iron Dwarf coming out. That'll be able to trade out with the Flame Imp.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I guess that's really the only play that he has to make. And Dark Iron out on the field is not all that bad anyway. It'll die, but it'll take 2 minions to trade into it. Although, oh man, another the Dark Iron coming right back out is going to be a perfect trade here. So RDU, after a little bit of a rough start with the discard of or from the Soulfire, actually coming back and now with a solid board position.
Yeah, I really like that that last trade. It makes it so his opponent can't use another Dark Iron Dwarf or Argus play or anything like that and trade up. So he's playing preemptively here. Oh, tapping lost after playing the egg. Admitting that it was a mistake.
Yeah, that is not, especially in Zoo, where you're almost always able to play what you get off the tap. It can really turn things around. But just the egg out there, not really saving his life this time, and Alchemixt dropping down to 6 health.
Yeah. This is probably over right now, unless he has something like a Soulfire and a Doomguard in hand and gets pretty lucky. Gonna power whelm that, trade that up.
And yeah, I think this is basically GG. There is 6 damage on the board, and there is a Doomguard, so he'll be able to trade out a little bit of it.
Yeah. So now that the wolf is gone, the egg can't kill itself, so to speak, by trading into. But that Dark Iron Dwarf is really, really, really good right now.
Yeah, this is the perfect draw.
Yeah, he can actually kill his egg here and run the Shattered Sun into the Doomguard and get a 4/4 on the board.
And it does look like that's what he's gonna do. It looks like he's
yeah, I don't see him not buffing the egg here. There's like no point at buffing the Shattered Sun Cleric. Keep the egg alive.
Yeah, no questions asked. Now he's left with 2 4/4s on the board, and it's up to Alchemixt to come up with. I guess the only way he stays alive this turn is with Soulfire. I guess he could drop second Doomguard, but there's the Soulfire.
That's one of the best top deck that he could have gotten, apart from Doomguard.
And now with the board cleared,
and
he had the Doomguard too. Oh my god.
That's really weird play, actually. I would have traded that Doomguard into the 4/4 and kept his 4/4 alive. I'm not quite sure why he did that trade. I don't see any reason to it, actually.
I mean, maybe he's thinking that then his Doomguard dies to Soulfire next turn.
Yeah, but then his
even still
4/4 is still alive, and it's like...
So, maybe a little bit of a mistrade there. And now actually maybe a possible, I don't want to say comeback. RDU still definitely ahead in the life total. There's so much lethal he can draw into right now. He's going to tap one out and he gets the Abusive Sergeant. That top deck, RDU.
Yeah.
Coming home with a win on turn 8.
Yeah, Stu is like this sometimes. Whoever gets the first strong board presence or board control usually often wins, so you can't really make a comeback in this matchup easily.
Alright, apologies for a little bit of the sync there. I think we threw that one out a little bit ahead of time, but there you go. It's game number 1 for RDU. But I feel like Zoo maybe having some problems with some of the other matchups. We'll see what Alchemix decides to run into it. They're going to hop into their second game here in just a second with RD Zoo. He's going to be coming up against the Warrior from Alchemix. Now, I know Alchemix used to play Control Warrior a lot back in the day, but it's safe to say that the Warrior metagame has greatly shifted and even diversified. We've seen a lot of different flavors here today.
Yes, before Naxxramas, Sue was very, very, very good against the Warrior. Now that Sue is playing eggs and stuff like Haunted Creeper that are really slow, you have some more time as a Warrior to get your stronger minions out and basically buy yourself more time. And it's very interesting to see RDU playing the Ooze here. I saw Trump playing that in the HyperX Invitational, but didn't see much use of it. But this time you might get some use out of it with the Direwolf Alpha.
Yeah, you can throw out 2 monsters. I guess it's kind of like a pre-killed Haunted Creeper. except without the death rattle. You get both of them out there, and then you throw down the wolf, and that's what is it, 4 damage next turn, and it just keeps getting worse and worse after that. You can then buff it the following turn if you want to just throw down the Shattered Sun Cleric, but probably wanting to deal with, I guess, yeah, he can take out the Acolyte, but he's gonna give him 2 cards because of it.
Yeah, but he couldn't really play around that. He did not have enough damage to one-shot it. But it's fine. That 1 extra card is not a huge deal here this early on in the game. He did, however, pick up a Doomguard, which is gonna be very, very useful in this matchup.
Yeah, and Fiery War Axe coming out. That's about the best item or best card you could get versus Zoo. It'll allow you to trade pretty effectively, and taking out that Dire Wolf prevents a ton of extra damage coming to the face. Dropping the 4/4, it's extra damage, and I guess that's the best card you can have on the field out of everything in his hand.
Yeah, for sure. He's at 4 mana right now, and I do believe he still hasn't used the coin. Yeah, he coined out his Acolyte actually. So the coin is gone, so no possibilities of a fire drop here, like a Sludge Belcher. Oh, that's a really, really good turn. Whirlwinding and trading that.
So he is actually able to take that out. So 1/1, the only one left on the board. Echoing Ooze will get buffed by the Shattered Sun Cleric, and we'll be able to trade out. But once again, that's a 2-card Acolyte. And so look at the Warrior hand. Like, as a Warrior, you gotta be feeling good when you have this many cards in hand so early on in the game.
Yeah, for sure. And the Warrior here, the Brawl, if he has a Brawl, that's not really good right now. If you want to Brawl against this kind of Zulok, you want to kill that 1/2 spider and summon those 1/1s before, so you can get better chances of one of those surviving. Turn 5, you could play something like a Sludge Belcher here. That would actually be really good to prevent stuff. But Armor Smith it is.
Yeah, Armor Smith and Armor Up. So the Shield Slam, I guess it's good to clear out damage, so at least the Armor Smith probably surviving here for another turn. I mean, he's got the Doomguard if he wants to drop it, but probably, yeah, just gonna go for the Echoing Ooze and then get some knives off of suiciding the Creeper.
This is, yeah, oh no, it hits the Armor Smith. He really wanted it to hit that one.
Oh, I thought he was just gonna suicide the Creeper in first, so that then the spiders that spawn off of it will give you more knives with better chances to hit. But
he can't suicide the Creeper because it has 2 health.
Oh, that's true. I didn't see that. Okay, apologies for that. But now with a big board for Zoo, but a big hand for Warrior. Is the Zoo player kind of on a clock here because of the big stuff that's gonna start to come out from Warrior? Or is he far enough ahead that the Warrior will never get that tempo?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to get him lower before he can play stuff like Sylvanas or Ragnaros. Soulfire, oh wow. So he could go for a gamble here by Soulfiring first, and he's debating here whether he has better chance in winning by Soulfiring first, discarding the Flame Imp and then Doomguarding, or if he's not willing to take that chance. He got 8 damage on board here. If he Soulfires and
safer play,
yeah,
is Flame Imp, yes.
But this can also backfire greatly. If he has something like a Brawl here, that could really turn this game around.
Yeah, and I mean that wouldn't give Alchemixt any of his minions either from Sylvanas because it was played last, right?
Sylvanas, if Sylvanas is played last, it will steal the.
It'll give him a spider.
Yeah, exactly. But he's gonna attack into the spider first here because if he does that, there's a great chance of a spider surviving the Brawl. But he has to keep in mind that he will get 2 Knife Juggle hits and 1 hits the face, which is pretty bad. But yeah, it's gonna be a Brawl here.
So Brawl coming out. If that Doomguard survives, we're gonna see the end of this game.
No, we're not, because he's gonna steal that. He's gonna steal whatever survives here.
Oh, that's right. It's the second one. So yeah, it's actually the 4/4 goes over to Alchemixt, and
that's actually the second best one that could have survived here.
Yeah, it keeps him alive, clears the board. You're gonna see a lot of tapping here, but those are not necessarily the cards that RDU wanted. He'll be able to taunt up this turn, but there's yeah, no 2. Oh wait. Oh, he
He's
just ends his.
Yeah, he's passing here because if he taunts up that Voidwalker, it's gonna be a 2/4 and it's gonna die anyway. So he's waiting for that double value from that Argus. He can't just play it here because he will just get traded easily, and then the Argus would be removed by something like a Fairy War Axe or Shield Slam or something like that.
All right, so now 9 armor. Alchemixt starting to climb back up and realizing this is Zoo, so there's probably not too many opportunities to use his BGH. Just throws it down there back on the field. And now coin for the Argent Squire. That's actually not too bad of an opportunity to taunt that up with the Argus.
It is. It's one of the better targets in Suit to taunt up. He's gonna need something like a Whirlwind. He already used one Whirlwind here. And most warriors nowadays, they only run one Whirlwind because of the addition of Unstable Ghoul in Naxxramas. 2 Whirlwinds is a bit too much if you play Unstable Ghouls. So it's gonna be a bit of a trouble here to remove that Divine Shield.
Yeah, and he's gonna... Oh, Black Knight, though!
That's really good. That's one of the cards.
Yeah, perfect removal there, and that's gonna be it. RDU, he knows what's up. There's the concede, and Alchemix! He's coming back, so the Warrior is the answer to Zoo, and this will be the first non-3-0 series that we see tonight.
Yeah, as I said, Warrior has a lot better chances now in Naxxramas versus Zoo than previously, and it's showing here in that game.
Well, there you go. It looks like Druid will be the next deck pick coming up here for RDU. And we aren't sure exactly which flavor of Druid it is. If it's kind of the new style Druid with Kel'Thuzad in there. When that deck works, it's so frustrating because you can just never kill enough monsters unless you have some way to deal with Kel'Thuzad. So there's a Spectral Knight in this, so already some interesting techs.
Yeah. The Spectral Knight is pretty good against the Warrior because you can't Shield Slam it, you can't execute it. It's... oh wow, he's playing Shade of Naxxramas here. That's really interesting. This is a Druid deck I haven't seen, and Echoing Ooze as well.
Okay, Echoing Ooze, that means it's more of like a token Druid kind of style, right?
It could, I mean, it could be just one of those additions that synergizes well with Mark of the Wild that you just want to have in your deck. He's playing Argus here, so it synergizes great with that as well. You can play that Ooze and Argus it, and the copy will get taunt as well. So... but I'm really surprised about the Shade. I'm gonna have to wait and see for that synergy. But it's probably gonna be useful in some cases.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been experimenting with Shade. I think you've been playing a ton of Shade games too.
Yeah, I played it in Priest. It's really good there. I can see the potential in Druid as well. You can like keep it on the board for your Savage Roar combo. Like that's another minion that will get the buff from Savage Roar that he can't remove until it's too late. So I can see the potential, but I'm not quite sure how useful it is actually. Other than that.
Well, it's out there on the field right now for RDU. It'll start stacking up, and there's really no good way for a Warrior to clear a Shade unless he just like swings twice, but that Shade's gonna get some extra health, so unless there's like a very early brawl, this actually could be interesting. I mean, you can taunt up the Shade and it's still stealth, so it doesn't function as a taunt and it's still safe.
Yeah, but I'm not sure here that was actually a small mistake there, because he could have waited with Argus. He still had 3 attack, but now he lost 1. Yeah, he's admitting the mistake here. He shouldn't have played the Argus before he traded, because now the Argus is at 2-2 instead of 2-3.
Yeah, and it would have had the same effect overall. And now here's the Whirlwind. The question is, where does the axe hit? Or is he even going to axe? No, Cruel Taskmaster comes out. And it's going to be able to trade away, and that's your Shade of Naxxramas gone.
Yeah, and wow, that Innervate is actually really nice. He can Innervate out Ancient of Lore without Warrior having any armor to Shield Slam it.
Some nice draws coming out there. He's got a Silence for a nice option in case there's like a Sludge Belcher coming at him, and then he'll be able to trade that one away. But 5/5 on the board with 5 mana. Is this a Sylvanas turn? No, it looks like it's a Cairn coming out. So
Cairn pretty good, but he does have the Silence here, which means he can silence and trade. But he's gonna wait with the Silence because there's really no need to silence it until you're gonna kill it and you might want to put up some more pressure before you do that. He's at 30 health. He's not afraid of anything here at this point.
Yeah, now Warrior can make some pretty big swings with health, with shield blocks coming in there and the ability to shield slam for some nice board trades. And we haven't seen any of those just yet, so there's still options to come out there on the board. And at least next turn for RDU, he does have very good trade potential. Once again, like you said, the silence, and then he does have that Argus. So it looks like he's running pretty heavy taunt lineup, at least from his hand, but he still has that wild growth in there if he wants, or not wild growth, the force of nature if he wants to trade things out that way.
Yeah, the warrior needs to be afraid of combo here coming up in 2-3 turns. So he needs to start arming up and removing minions. He can't go for face at all. He's gonna trade his Cairn into the 5/5, which sounds to me like he needs some kind of cool Taskmaster here or Whirlwind. Oh wow, he's just gonna take that to the face. That's really unfortunate.
Oh yeah, he loses the 5 armor, and
but
that
he is playing around silence here though, by killing his own Cairn before it gets silenced.
I guess it is kind of smart. The taunts to come out there will, I guess, kind of make that a little bit less of a valuable trade, and with the extra damage, he will be able to trade that Cairn for the Bane and keep his board alive. So the ramp's starting to build for RDU. He's got 3 very, very sticky minions out there on the board.
Yeah, for sure. If Alchemist has a brawl here, it can be painful because he can attack into that 2/3 spider, spawn 2 1/1s and brawl. But it does not look like he has a brawl. Oh my god, is this a Kit Kat's brawl? It's a Kit Kat's brawl.
Oh my god, it is! He's gonna go for it! Did Kit Kats lie? The answer, of course. Oh, he did!
Kit Kats. Former teammate stabbing him in the back. That's not gonna feel good, man.
I mean, maybe that's for leaving the team. You never know if they'd kept it. But of course, a little bit unfortunate. Basically, I guess the worst roll that he could have gotten from that. Everything alive here for RDU and only 4 health for Alchemixt.
Yeah, this is the point of no return as a warrior. I mean, he uses brawl. How he's gonna deal with this board? He's not. He's gonna concede here. And game 3 goes to RDU.
All right, so we're 2-1 in the series right now. RDU gonna stick here with his Druid, and now we're waiting for Alchemixt to select what could be his final deck. It looks like he has already chosen it. We'll load into our next game, what, like I said, could be the final game, not only of the series, but of the entire night. So, looks like RDU is, once again, with his Druid, facing off against the final boss, Alchemixt, bringing out his Hunter.
Yep. And this start from RDU, that's a 3xer. Oh, really? No, you can't keep that without the coin, man. Come on. There is no way you can keep a Spectral Knight.
There's no way he's going to hit those cards. I mean, maybe he's hoping for, some wild growths, maybe innervates. No,
it's way too greedy. I mean, the Spectral Knight is great now that people mostly stopped running deadly shots. You can't Hunter's Mark it, you can't kill command it, so it's a great card, but you don't want to keep it without the coin in your starting hand. There is no way.
Now, he does get the Echoing Ooze, which will be a nice 2-drop for him when it comes back to his turn, but the turn 1 Web Spinner, oh my god, it's so, just the curves that that Hunter has, that didn't come out right, but Hunter is really good at hitting their, hitting curves. They've got that 1 damage, those Echoing Oozes, no really way to combo with them on turn 3.
Yeah, this start is actually quite okay here by RDU since he picked up that Arguses. If both of those survives until Argus turn, it's really, really good. But I'm expecting something like Mad Scientist right here or Coin Animal Companion, and either of those will ruin that plan completely.
Alright, so how to get rid of those, the 2 health on the ooze is just so annoying for Hunter to clear out. This is where the Hunter, pulls out a random cleave in their deck, and you're just like, what? But probably not going to go for that. He's going to get some extra damage from the, or he'll get some extra health and damage on that. And he actually, he trades it up. There's...
Wow, this is a really, really interesting play here. This is very, very risky if your opponent has a Wrath, but RDU has no Wrath. So but that was a good gamble paying off. If he's gonna kill this Timberwolf now, it's gonna get even more buffed, so this
Oh
is
no.
actually a huge gamble from Alchemist that paid off big time.
And that's gonna be a yeah, the buff 6/4 on the Hyena. How do you deal with that right now? Like, do you hope to draw into Silence? I think is your only
Swipe,
option.
Silence, or Wrath will deal with that, but he has neither. That Argus is not gonna do much on a single 1/2 Ooth this game. So this is just a really tough spot here for RDU.
Okay, well, as far as options, there's only that Argus that comes up next as far as 4-drops are concerned. So, not the biggest turn. He's going to be taking 6 to the face. Draw of the Haunted Creeper. That is not what he wanted to see. So, he's just going to Argus up, and it'll keep him safe for at least one turn. But that Hyena is going to start to get really scary.
Yeah, he can't really trade with that 1/2 spider because it will buff the Hyena, and then the 2/1/1s that spawns from the Death Rattle will just trade with the Ooze, and he will go to face with 8 damage. But Houndmaster is gonna ruin his day even more here.
Oh no, the synergy coming out as Houndmaster just gives you so many stats out there on the board. You get Taunt, 2/2, and then the 4/3 is the minion out there. And now, wait, is he actually going to trade with the Hyena?
The reason he wants to trade here is he wants to play around Swipe here. If he would have top deck, and he top decks a Swipe, but the Swipe is not good anymore. The Swipe is not good. If he would have had that 2/3, he could have made a huge Swipe play there, but yeah, now it's really bad.
Yeah, so he leaves up most of the board. He takes care of the Hyena, but now it's turn 5 for Alchemixt. And that just sends so many more scary things his way. He's going to be actually deadly shot, so he doesn't have anything too crazy in his hand. But okay, nobody expects the hungry crab.
No. So very weak turn there by Alchemist, but he still had a lot of board pressure, so it doesn't really matter. So he wants to play the Spectral Knight here before anything else because he's gonna taunt it up with Argus next turn, possibly with Horus Golem, might also be the Haunted Creeper, but he has the mana for the Horus, so I don't see any other play than that. He's gonna play, yeah, oh, there's the Savannah High main top deck. Yeah, this is, I don't see him winning this here.
Yeah, just an almost perfect curve from Alchemist. There is a silence from Keeper of the Grove, so he'll be able to get past the Creeper, but he just died the next turn anyway. So taunting up here keeps him alive one more. Wait, does
unless
it
he
keep
has
him
a
alive?
kill command here. Kill command
Yeah.
here, power kills him here.
Oh man, so now we find out if Alchemist has it or not. He's not squelched, and he's not saying good game just yet, so but there's a silence on the taunt. Can't take spells, but there's the well played, and it'll be Alchemist who will take a game right back. So after 3 3-0s in a row, we're finally gonna go to a game number 5.
Yeah, this is why you ban Hunter, man. But knowing RDU, he should have a good last remaining deck for Hunter, otherwise he would have banned Hunter. And it's actually a Shaman here. That's interesting. Shamans can do fairly good against Hunters if you get your Hexes or Silences in time for their Savannah High mains. So we'll see what kind of Shaman this is.
Alright, well, he's got pretty standard, I guess, Shaman cards in there. The Harvest Golem, I guess it's sticky because you want to build the board anyway. What is the primary Shaman builds that you see right now? Right now, like initially, I used to see like big wombo combo sort of Wind Fury Shamans that look to one-shot you in one turn.
Yeah,
but
nowadays it's mostly sticky stuff like Haunted Creepers, Eggs, Horus Golems. You want all those sticky stuff on the board that synergizes well with stuff like Flame Tank Totem, etc. Definitely running maybe 1 or 2 Argus here, I think. It's very popular right now.
Alright, so still looking for the hand here. Alchemist. Keep in mind that with Shaman, there's no healing in the Shaman deck unless he runs Farseers. So the hero power from Alchemist just turn after turn can chip him down, but I think he's more worried about just the early curve from Alchemist just being a little bit too much. He came out with a turn 1 Spider in game one, or in the first game he played Hunter. So we'll see if he has quite as good a curve this time around.
Yeah, he plays the Scavenging Hyena here, which is pretty good against Shaman because you can use it as a totem removal. He does, however, get countered here a bit by the Horus Golem, which has 3 health. So, unless he has something like Boar, Hunter's Mark, that Hyena is gonna die here. He does actually have Coin, so Coin Houndmaster will ruin his day now.
That's the second time in 2 games. Houndmaster, just such a good card. He doesn't have to lose any health from trading too. I guess Rockbiter Weapon is a good draw, but he's also got the Lightning Bolts if he wants to go for those. Earth Shock though, just a little bit too good.
If he would have gotten a Spell Power Totem there, that would have been really, really good.
That says he can't clear the board, and now things shifting back to RDU. Alchemixt, empty board, and I guess it's kind of okay for the Hunter versus a Shaman that wants to flood because he's going to get a really big Unleash turn. But that should be coming up for another 1 or 2 drops.
Yeah. RDU does not really have a good play here. He needs to top deck something for sure. And a Flame Tongue Totem, that's actually really good top deck.
Yeah, almost perfect. He'll be able to trade the Totem into it and get a 4-1.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the RDU's player was really good. He attacked with his Stonecloud Totem first to have bigger possibilities of drawing a Stonecloud Totem next turn. I mean this turn, when he Totem up. So, you really want that Stoneclaw in this position.
Now with a big board, what is the big turnaround that Alchemixt is looking like? Traditionally, it would just be a Buzzard Unleash turn, and you get your tempo back up there. But especially with the Flame Tongue Totem out, he's gonna have to take care of that. And he actually naked kill commands it, so
yeah, that's definitely worth it. You need to remove that Flame Tongue so he can't trade with totems. He needs to trade with minions. And yeah, obvious Fire Elemental turn here.
Yeah, and now a big minion on the board for RDU. This is where you're looking for Hunter's Mark as Alchemix, but again with the Hungry Crab, it's going to give him the kill command that he needed to take out the Fire Elemental, but I guess that's about as useful as the Hungry Crab can be this game.
Yeah, I can't believe he got 2 Hungry Crabs in a row from that web spinner. Really unlucky there for Alchemist. So he's just gonna keep up the pressure here, but he does, however, need to pick up one of those hexes before he gets a Savannah Highmane here. And tracking at turn 7 is most likely gonna give him a Savannah Highmane here.
All right, well, he's digging for it. A lot of mixed results on tracking. I've seen guys like Reynad will take tracking completely out of their Hunter decks and just go for flares. But when you need to dig for it, actually didn't find the Savannah Highmane, so he's going to drop at least one. He didn't get Misha, though, so no taunts. And we'll see if he has anything. No, just hero powers, and that's actually a pretty weak turn.
He didn't find the Savannah Highmane there, quite unfortunate, and that was actually I'm not sure if Huffer would have been better there than Leok, but they're both pretty awful. He really needs that Unleash to come back into this game, and RDU not hero powering there, great move to play around Unleash combo.
Yeah, he's going to try to keep things. The Spell Power Totem, it's really good, and he is probably going to run up against this Unleash combo. Yeah, there's the Buzzard and the Hounds. So 3 more cards for Alchemist, and those are going to be really big cards that he needs, but I think they might actually have been just a couple turns too late, having not hit that Savannah Highmane turn.
He needs a second Buzzard. He needs a Hunter's Mark, that's for sure, if he wants to come back here. And he picks up the Timberwolf as well, so he's gonna get a Hunter's Mark here for sure, I'm pretty sure.
At least he should. There's only 6 cards left in his deck, so you have to know that the Hunter's Mark is coming, and just gonna throw it down there.
So this is the comeback that he needed for sure. Now we know that he has a Savannah Highmane, almost certainly. So he needs to cycle that Inventor to get that Hex. He really needs that Hex right now.
Instead, he gets the Wolves, and so he'll play Feral. Does he play Feral Spirits or Double Taunt? I guess, yeah, there's the Argus. He'll taunt things up, he'll stay alive, and more importantly, Alchemist is going to stay alive after a nice comeback that clears all the threats off the board.
Yeah, Alchemist needs to be a bit careful here though, because he has double buzzard on his board, and he's drawing 2 cards if he plays a Savannah High main here. He's only at 5 cards remaining, so he might need to trade before he plays a beast here. But his fish, maybe he doesn't have the Savannah High main, maybe he's still fishing for him.
Oh my god, there's 3 cards left in his deck, and he hasn't pulled High main yet.
Yeah, Hunter has no healing whatsoever, so every damage he takes from fatigue is not gonna be restored at all. So Hunter's mark top deck.
And he'll be able to clear out at least most of the board if he wants to trade the Buzzard. But, I mean, he has to know that the Buzzard dies next turn anyway, so I think he's just thinking, you know, what cards do I play to draw off of the Buzzard this turn? He has to have a High main.
Yeah, I'm super surprised that the High main hasn't been shown yet. He's hovering something. Oh. Haunted.
Okay, well there's
no High main.
Web Spinner. 3 cards left in his deck, and there's no High main out there. But there is a Hound
He
Nest.
must have discarded one with. He must have discarded one with tracking in favor of Unleash combo. That's the only way I see it. Like, I don't think it can be that unlucky to have 2 High mains in the bottom 3 cards. So this is actually looking quite alright now for RDU, with no high main on the table.
Yeah, it's a really big shame that he doesn't have something like an Unbound Elemental in his hand. He has nothing but cards with Overload.
Yeah.
And he'll actually overload him for 4 next turn.
And he does have double Feral Spirits, and without any more... I mean, in theory he could have Unleash left if he didn't discard that, but...
There's no Buzzards, so...
There is no Buzzards, not that he would want that.
Yeah, exactly.
Few cards, but there is no Timberwolves remaining as well, and that's pretty important.
So he'll be forced to use those 2 spiders to clear out the Taunt Totem, but especially with that Wind... Wait.
This is the first time I've actually seen that card in Hunter. That is yeah, RDU is like, what the... Oh, this is actually the case here. So he replaced his High mains with Sledge Vultures here.
And now, like you said, that's news to me. It's a big surprise. Now he did get Lightning Storm.
That is actually a really good draw. But he can't totem here because he needs the Feral Spirit. But this is actually some crazy deck here by Alchemixt. I've never seen this kind of Hunter before.
Now the Wind Fury on that Doomhammer could trade things out. But once again, he has to be very, very careful because, I mean, neither one of these guys have any health coming back. But with as few cards as Alchemixt has in his deck, he has to be worried about that fatigue coming in a couple turns.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if those were High mains, I think this game would have looked completely different. With no Hex from RDU. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a good replacement for Savannah High mains.
I don't know, Kev. We'll see. It's coming into... Oh, there. Okay, there's the High main. High main hype. 1 card left in your deck and finally drops the High main out there for Alchemist. This is the weirdest Hunter play I've ever seen, but when it comes down to it, he's got 5 cards left.
Yeah, so
to make this count.
Did he have a Web Spinner last turn on the table?
He's already played 2 Web Spinners.
Yeah, but did he have one on the table last turn?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah. Did he get that timing from the Web Spinner?
Well, he's gotten 2 Hungry Crabs so far, so he was kind of due for something good. Oh, but there's the Emperor Cobra, which you have to assume comes from a Web Spinner. For sure.
And there's the top deck Hex.
Oh my god. Alright, well, that is going to do it for the majority of the options in Alchemix's deck. He's going to have to know that he's going to face the Hex next turn, and with that swing, he's 2... Oh, he's already got the 3 from the swing, so or from the lightning bolt. So that goes straight to the Cobra, and now Alchemist's kind of out of options.
Yeah, I mean, you need the Feral Spirits here, I think. The only way you could die is Leroy shenanigans, and you need more taunts for that, because the Cobra is gonna take care of that 2/2 wolf.
Oh my
So
god, no
no
more
more
cards.
cards, and yeah, it's looking very bad for Alchemist.
I don't know what 4 cards as a hunter you can have to bring yourself back from 6 health and also take down 3 tauns and a 13 health shaman. Things
Yeah.
looking good for RDU. I mean, he brought it to a game 5, so Alchemix coming back from that early deficit. RDU's shaman. Looks like the answer.
Well played. Concede.
Yep, and there is the concede from Alchemix. RDU goes the full 5 games after a day full of 3-0s. Decided to make it interesting. He also gets the Magma Rager hype there at the end, so a nice reward for advancing to tomorrow's playoffs. So in case you guys are wondering what the playoffs are looking at, make sure to head over to Heroesofcards.eu. That's the website where you can find bracket information, our stream times, the channel to see if we're live, as well as check out the breakdowns for the prize purse, formats and schedules, and of course our wonderful sponsors. We should definitely thank our sponsors here as our day draws to a close. Once again, this tournament is brought to you and broadcasted on Hitbox TV. It's an excellent streaming platform. It's got a lot of little interesting things to it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the zero delay stream, as some cool emoticons in the chat and a whole host of features. So definitely stick around and find out all that Hitbox TV has to offer. I'd also like to thank our friends at Gosu Gamers for helping us cover this tournament, and the production staff of Chaos TV for making this broadcast possible. That's going to be all for our broadcast tonight, but make sure to tune in at 1800 Central European summertime. That'll be when our first match tomorrow concludes. It'll be, I believe, Amaz versus Masan for our first match of the day. And then, of course, we'll conclude with the 4 matches that day with the grand final, which will actually be a best out of 7. And while there were some production issues today, those should all be fixed tomorrow. So expect a great broadcast. We do hope to see you then. I'd like to thank especially my co-caster Forsen for making himself available today. Really appreciate you having you on the show. Do you have any shout outs before you leave?
Not really. You can follow me at FortuneSC2 on Twitter, and maybe shout out to all my role-playing fans.
Role-playing fans. Well played. And if you guys are fans of Forsen, of course, make sure to follow him on Twitter, check out his stream, and tune in again tomorrow. Once again, 1800 hours Central European summertime for Amaz versus Masan, starting out as our first set of the night. Once again, thank you all for watching the Heroes of Cards tournament broadcast here on Hitbox TV. See if there's any last words that I need to mention before we leave. I think that is actually it. So on behalf of myself, Forsen, our wonderful production staff, and everyone here at Hitbox, I'd like to thank you all for watching. We'll make sure to see you all tomorrow, 1800 Central European time. Have a great night.